Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode in Knowledge Anywhere's podcast series, Getting the Most from Your Learning Management System. I'm Eric Marquette.
And I'm Clara Jensen.
Knowledge Anywhere is a Seattle-based learning company. We've been in the online learning business since 1998, and we've learned a lot about online learning, and this podcast is our opportunity to share that knowledge with you. In this series, we'll talk about selecting an LMS, integrating your LMS into your organization, engaging users, tracking data, creating meaningful courses, and much more. Basically, anything to do with corporate online learning. Today, on our first episode, we're going to start with selecting an LMS, whether it's your first implementation or you're replacing an existing LMS.
All right, so let's dive straight in. What is a learning management system? It's basically like this all-in-one hub for online learning at work, a place where employees can access courses, track progress, and really just stay on top of their training. And on the administrator side, managers can use the LMS to keep everything organized. They'll assign training, track participation, basically manage training for the organization.
Exactly, Clara. It's really a tool that bridges the gap between professional development and operational efficiency. For larger organizations, or even mid-sized ones, it's indispensable.
And it's not just for the Apples and Googles of the world. Even small companies can benefit from an LMS.
You're right, and let's not forget that you can assign and track in-person training in an LMS as well. But there are many LMSs out there, and you have to find one that fits your business needs and is priced right. It's a decision that has a lot of ramifications for your organization. Honestly, it can seem overwhelming to many companies, small and large.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you Google LMS, and you're hit with like a zillion results. And every platform will claim to be the best.
Which is why we're here to simplify the process for you.
Exactly. So if you're thinking about introducing an LMS or maybe replacing your current one, hang tight. We'll break it all down, starting with how to figure out what you actually need, the features to prioritize, and how to manage data migration and training. There's a whole process to this.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, we've got to talk about the starting point for any successful LMS implementation.
Exactly, Eric. The starting point is all about getting your needs assessment right. I know it sounds formal, but really, it's just about asking the right questions. What's working? What's not? And most importantly, what do you actually need from your LMS? It's pretty straightforward when you break it down, but it's such a critical first step.
Right. And the thing is, without this step, you're kind of flying blind. A needs assessment is your chance to pinpoint the gaps in your current system, or what you need in a new LMS. Features you're missing, usability issues, even things like how well it supports your training goals. Think of it as building a checklist, but with purpose.
Oh yeah, and it's not just about fixing what's wrong. It's like you've got to think ahead.
Exactly, about where your organization is going. What kinds of training programs are you planning in the future? Are you expanding, introducing mobile learning for a remote workforce? Your new LMS has to evolve with you.
Totally. And I feel like a lot of companies skip this part. They rush to pick the fanciest platform, but they don't stop to ask, does this actually solve our problems? Or worse, will it just create new ones?
If you know your pain points up front, you can filter out options that don't align with your needs. Take usability, for example. If your employees constantly struggle with navigating your current system, switching to another clunky interface isn't going to help anyone.
Exactly. And there's a bonus here too. When you know your needs, it's easier to prioritize features. Like, do you need advanced analytics? Integration with social media? It's all about matching your goals with the system's strengths. This step also forces you to think about what data is truly critical to your operations. For example, training metrics. Are course completion rates key? Or maybe you need data on how long employees spend in training. These answers help shape the backbone of your new LMS evaluation process.
Wow, you make it sound like this step kind of does half the heavy lifting.
In a way, yes. A solid needs assessment simplifies everything that comes next. It's one of those things. You put in the effort now to avoid headaches later on.
And when we're talking effort, folks, it's not just about sitting in a room brainstorming. You need input, right? Talk to your team, get a sense of what they need on the ground, and get specific. Ask them what's frustrating about the current system, what features they'd love to see, because they're the ones using it every day. They'll know better than anyone what matters. So yeah, folks, this part is non-negotiable. Don't skimp on it. And consider working with your potential LMS provider to conduct the needs assessment. It's a good opportunity to get to know your potential provider and see how they are to work with. At Knowledge Anywhere, we like to provide this kind of support. We have seen plenty of implementations and are happy to help folks through this process.
So, once you've got a solid understanding of your organization's needs, the next step is figuring out what features are going to meet those needs. Let's dig into the stuff that truly makes or breaks an LMS, the tools that make life easier for your learners, and just as importantly, for your admins. Because let's face it, if it's a headache to use, no one's going to want to touch it.
Absolutely, Clara. And at the top of the list, user experience. A clean, intuitive interface isn't just nice to have. It's critical. If learners can't figure out how to access their courses or their progress, adoption rates plummet. The same goes for administrators.
Oh, totally. It's like no one wants to wrestle with something that feels like it was designed in the 90s. I've seen this issue with some of the LMS providers that target the enterprise market. The user experience is complicated by obscure features that few people need and outdated UI elements. Those systems can be very hard to master, and they are not the best choice for everyone.
Now, what about analytics and reporting? That's very important, right?
A robust reporting system lets organizations track course completions, monitor time spent in training, and even identify trends, like which courses are most popular. Administrators should be able to customize and filter this data in meaningful ways. By date, team, individual users, you name it.
Love that, especially when you can segment the data. Reporting is huge for documenting compliance. Okay, switching gears. Certificates and badges.
Now, Eric, these aren't just gold stars for adults, right?
Not at all. Gamification elements like badges and certificates boost engagement by making the learning process more rewarding. Plus, learners can showcase their achievements internally or even externally, like on LinkedIn.
I like that. Speaking of keeping things on track, what about transcripts?
Transcripts are a must, and everyone provides them. They give learners a consolidated view of their training history, current progress, and future requirements. But the key is, are they user-friendly and easy to understand?
All right. Customization and branding. It's more than just slapping a logo on the homepage, right?
Exactly. And that's what too many people think of. It's about creating a space that reflects your company's culture. From colors and logos to email templates and badges, branding turns the LMS into a seamless extension of the organization, not just another out-of-the-box tool.
Love it. Now here's a flashy one. Social media integration. How big of a deal is this?
It's actually not for a lot of companies, but I think it's becoming more important. Integrating with platforms like LinkedIn allows learners to post their certifications and showcase skills, turning training into a public asset. It's also a way to engage employees who are active on social media. You meet them where they already are.
Okay, what about SCORM conversion? That sounds technical.
It can be, but it's vital for ensuring your training materials work seamlessly in the LMS. SCORM is an e-learning standard. Online courses are typically SCORM compliant, meaning they can be uploaded to just about any LMS. SCORM conversion refers to the ability to convert a video, PowerPoint, or other source file to SCORM. It's an easy way to get content into your LMS. If you need an inexpensive tool to convert your materials into SCORM courses, ready for any LMS, check out SCORMify. They have low prices and start you off on a free trial with a few free conversions to get you started.
Does SCORMify take the place of an authoring platform like Articulate?
Oh no, a tool like Articulate is the way to go for your full-featured e-learning courses. SCORMify is an option for converting other content, like videos, quickly and easily, into learning objects.
And multilingual support? I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory if you've got a global workforce.
For sure.
Last but definitely not least, personalized customer support. This one's huge, right?
Massive. Your provider should be a true partner, not just a vendor. Their team should offer tailored onboarding, ongoing training, and quick, effective responses to any issues. This is really important. Without a solid support system, even the best LMS can falter. Now that we've hashed out the key features to prioritize, you've probably got a solid shortlist of LMS options. The next step, it's demo time. And this is where decisions really start to take shape.
For sure. The demo is your chance to get hands-on and see how the LMS actually works. It's not about what the provider tells you, it's about what the platform shows you. And honestly, this is where you need to be thorough.
Totally.
So, no second guessing or skipping over the details because, let's face it, you're setting the stage for your entire company's training setup here. What's the first thing they should dig into during a demo?
Make note of the platform's usability. How intuitive is it? Can your admins easily upload and assign content? And can learners easily find their assigned courses? If it feels clunky or overly complicated, that's a red flag.
Oh yeah, nothing kills enthusiasm faster than a platform that feels like it needs a PhD to operate. Okay, what about customer support? I feel like a lot of people skip over this one, but it's huge, right?
It is, and you need to be careful because every training vendor out there will claim their company has great support, so it's kind of up to the buyer to do due diligence. You want to ask what kind of onboarding they provide? Will they train your team? What about support long-term? Like, is there a dedicated rep or just generic help tickets? What's their average response time? Will they get on a chat or a call with you if there's something you don't understand about the system? Good support can make or break your LMS experience.
Love that. And speaking of breaking things, what about technical needs? Like, how deep do you have to dig into those details during the demo?
Very deep. Look at data migration options. Can they help you transfer existing records seamlessly? What about integrations with your current tools? It's not just about what the LMS can do on its own, it's whether it plays nice with your other systems. I've found that this is more important post-COVID, since most companies had to figure out a way to remotely train their workforce. Instead of starting a new training platform from nothing, more organizations than ever have to transfer off a pre-existing system, which makes data migration a lot more complex.
Okay, so we've got usability, support, and tech compatibility on the table. But let's zoom in on specifics. What are some important questions to ask?
Pricing for sure. You need to know if their pricing aligns with your budget and training requirements. Then scalability. Can the LMS grow with you as your company expands? And ask about the implementation process. Change is hard enough without an overly complex setup.
Good point. And integrations?
Exactly. Find out if they offer integrations for things like single sign-on or data links to your existing systems. Then move on to extra perks. Do they have built-in tools like a content creator or access to partner perks?
Oh, I love that. A little extra goes a long way. Anything else?
Impact. You need to know how to measure your LMS's success. Will it help you track the real ROI of your training efforts? If you don't have metrics integrated, you're flying blind.
And circling back to the demo itself, if something feels off, trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right in the demo, it won't feel right for your team either.
One more thing, remember that the demo is a controlled environment where you are seeing what the vendor wants you to see. During the demo, they can gloss over items that will be frustrations as you work with the LMS day to day.
So what you're getting at is that it's important to spend hands-on time with the LMS yourself.
Exactly. Ask if they can set up a sandbox or a demo site and spend some time hands-on with the LMS without a rep constantly over your shoulder.
And once you're done with the demo, next step is usually looking into pricing models. This is where you start to feel the pressure, right? It's not just about the upfront cost. It's about finding a structure that meshes with your organization's needs without making budgeting a juggling act.
Absolutely. And the thing is, there isn't a single best pricing model for everyone. Each one's got its pros and cons, and your choice will depend on the size of your company, your training goals, and even how much you anticipate growing. So let's start with pay-per-user systems.
Ah, yes. It sounds straightforward enough. You pay for every user, right? But not all pay-per-user models are created equal.
Right. Some charge based on registered users, so basically anyone who has an account. Others only charge for active users, meaning those who actually log in and engage with the content. The latter can be a big saver for companies where participation fluctuates.
So, what's the catch?
Well, for big companies with thousands of employees, costs can add up quickly, especially if many employees rarely use the system. And if your headcount changes seasonally, predicting cost becomes tricky.
Got it. So, pay-per-user is great for smaller, stable teams, but can get dicey for larger organizations. Let's move on. How about annual licensing?
Annual licensing is more predictable. You pay a set fee every year, sometimes based on different feature tiers or user limits. The beauty of this model is its stability. You know what you're paying, regardless of fluctuating user numbers.
What are the issues with annual licensing?
It's less flexible. You're locked into that fee, even if your usage doesn't justify it. And choosing the wrong tier can mean spending too much or missing out on features you actually need.
What about perpetual licensing? The own it forever model, right?
Exactly. With perpetual licensing, you pay a one-time fee upfront and own the software outright. This can be appealing for larger organizations because there's no annual renewal cost.
Okay, so where's the rub?
Well, it's pricey up front, and while you own the software, you'll likely still need to pay for updates or additional features. Plus, most perpetual licenses require on-premise installation, which can be a deal-breaker if you prefer a cloud-based solution.
So lots of ownership, but maybe not as much convenience. All right, the last category, freemium and open source.
Now this one sounds too good to be true. Free software? What's the catch?
You get what you pay for. Free often comes with limitations. Freemium models might cap the number of users or features you can access without upgrading. And open source? It's usually free to download, but implementing and customizing it? That can get expensive fast if you lack in-house technical expertise.
Makes sense, Clara. So you might not be paying for the software, but you're paying for all the work to get it running. Who would these models actually work for?
Freemium is great for small companies looking to dip their toes into an LMS without committing to long-term contracts. Open source, on the other hand, is ideal for organizations with a solid IT team that's up for the challenge, or if customization is a top priority.
All right, folks, there you have it. 4 very different pricing models, each with their own quirks.
The trick, as always, is figuring out which one fits your company's needs.
All right, so after laying out the different pricing models, let's steer into another critical aspect of LMS decisions: migrations. Eric, I've heard horror stories about data getting lost or systems not working properly during transitions. How common are these challenges?
Problems certainly can occur. One of the biggest pain points companies face is data migration. It's not just about moving a few files. It's about transferring course content, user histories, training records, all critical to maintaining continuity. And if it's not done right, you could lose easy access to years of valuable data.
Yikes. And this is why some companies stick with outdated systems, huh?
It's one reason. The fear of change, or worse, failure, keeps them hanging on to systems that no longer meet their needs. But here's the thing. With proper planning, those risks can be mitigated.
Okay, so let's talk solutions. What's step 1 to avoid these headaches?
Planning. A phased approach is key. Instead of trying to move everything at once, break it into manageable stages. Start with less critical data, say, inactive user accounts, and work your way up to active training records and analytics.
That makes sense, kind of like dipping your toes in the water before jumping in. And what about cleaning up the data? That sounds tedious but necessary.
Migration presents a good opportunity to do necessary and overdue cleanup. Before anything gets moved, review what's there. Archive outdated records, merge duplicate learner accounts, fix any inconsistencies, and double-check permissions.
So it's not just about moving, it's about organizing while you're at it. But Eric, what happens if something goes wrong mid-migration? Do you have a safety net?
You should. Always have a contingency plan, like keeping a backup of critical data in your old LMS until everything's successfully transitioned. And here's where partnerships matter. The right LMS provider will offer guidance during this process. Don't be afraid to lean on their expertise. Okay, Eric, let's say everything's migrated and the system's live. How do you ensure that the data is reliable? That's where data integrity comes in. Look at your reporting and analytics tools. They should reflect accurate, high-quality data. If you've done a thorough cleanup and taken a phased approach, this shouldn't be an issue. But again, invest time in testing before rolling things out fully.
Testing. Got it, Clara. All right, so it sounds like with proper planning, those migration horror stories aren't inevitable. Is that fair to say?
Completely fair. A successful migration is about being proactive, involving the right people, and treating the process as a step-by-step journey, not a sprint. The new system.
It's all about making your team comfortable with the change and, even more importantly, excited about the opportunities it brings. Training is where the magic happens. Without it, even the best LMS can feel like just another tech headache.
So true. And I mean, everyone learns differently, right? What are some of the ways companies can make this work for all kinds of users?
Great question. The key is variety. Offer a mix of live training sessions, self-paced online tutorials, and printable guides. That way, you're catering to different learning styles, visual, auditory, or hands-on. You could even gamify the training process to make it more engaging and, fun.
Oh, I love that. A little healthy competition, sign me up. But seriously, making it fun sounds so underrated. What else can companies do to make the transition smoother?
Start early. Introduce the LMS well before it goes live. Let folks explore and get curious. Maybe launch it to a small, influential group first, as a pilot. Their feedback can help refine the rollout, and they can become advocates to help bring the rest of the team on board.
Great advice. We're going to wrap up here. Eric, any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
I guess I would just like to return to the idea of partnership. Throughout this entire process, work with a vendor who understands what you need, who is responsive, and who you trust. A company like Knowledge Anywhere that has been in this business for a long time and that prides themselves on customer service.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, folks, that's a wrap. We've covered the why, the how, and everything in between for LMS implementation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're walking away with fresh ideas and a little bit of inspiration to level up your training game. Keep learning.
Yes, keep learning. We hope you will be able to join us in upcoming episodes where we will discuss LMS implementation, emerging LMS features, among other topics, as we stay on top of what's happening in the world of corporate learning. Until next time, folks, take care and stay curious.